called Beauty Cave, and it happens to be the largest cave in Arkansas, just north of the Buffalo National River. And on this week's show, we're going to take you inside and show you that it does indeed live up to its name. And then we'll take you to the largest tree in the state, in the White River National Wildlife Refuge. And we'll close it all out with a rafting expedition down the Big Piney. But for now, Mike Mills with the Buffalo Outdoor Center and cave expert Chuck Bidding with the National Park Service join us as we begin our underground adventure into beauty. Beauty Cave gets its name from the grandeur of the huge entrance room, which was discovered in the 1920s.
Mid to late 20s it was discovered, and supposedly by an old man in his 80s.
In his 80s?
In his 80s. Can you imagine walking around these hills looking for a cave in your 80s? But they didn't have Social Security, I guess.
Tell us about the later than exploration of it, and the miles and miles of passageways.
Well, after they discovered the cave, sometime later, some people went further back in the cave, probably in the 1930s, and discovered that they could go in this entrance and come out another entrance on the other side of the mountain, so to speak, that they knew as Bat Cave. So that became a real popular trip through well, it's still a very popular trip today. The National Park Service manages the entire cave system, and we have the Bat Cave entrance closed and about a mile of passage closed for 9 months out of the year because it's an endangered bat hibernaculum. But in May 15th to August 15th each year we have that open. And then in the 1950s, Jim Skirmerhorn and some others discovered that there was a whole bunch more of the cave back to the east of that loop that wasn't really known very well. There had been people back there as early as the 1930s, but he really opened up the cave in that direction, and most of the cave was discovered by Jim or contemporaneous explorers with Jim.
Which all led to the discovery of the Tanuri Room in the early 60s.
I'm very fortunate to have a very great friend. His name is Jack Hershen, and in fact his entire family. And Jack and Dave Smith and Roy Davis were helping Jim Skirmerhorn explore this cave, and they were at a plateau called the Roundhouse, and they were eating lunch, and one of them said, "Wonder where that goes." And so they all three took off going down that passage, some crawling and some climbing down and up and a little more crawling, and then all of a sudden it opens up into a huge room with some fantastic formations, and they sat there in awe of this giant room in this beautiful cave. And they were trying to come up with some name for it. And they realized that they each represented two different states, Tennessee and Missouri. So they chopped the Tennessee and Missouri in half and came up with Tanuri. And then with carbide lights, they used the soot from those lights to write the Tanuri name and their names and the date on a huge rock inside the Tanuri Room. And that's how Tanuri Room came about. That's how it got its name. And even to this day, they think it's so unique of a landmark that the National Park has left that, we would call that graffiti today, but back then it was actually pretty common. And they actually did it in very nice artwork. And so it's an interesting story how Jack, Dave, and Roy discovered the Tanuri Passage and the Tanuri Room, and then named it after Tennessee and Missouri.
Mike, tell us about your adventure in caves. Now, people, they're used to seeing you on the river as an outfitter. Tell us about what you, the rush that you get of coming into a place like this?
You know, the general public just doesn't really understand that this is a wilderness area. So many places in a giant cave like this where no step footprint has ever been. And yeah, we got the main trails and stuff like that, but it's just literally an underground wilderness area. And so for me, I've actually been caving quite a bit. I'm certainly not the authority that Chuck is, but I've been in a lot of caves in Arkansas and have tried to learn and respect those caves and understand the environment within the cave and the creatures within the cave. And it's a completely different world down here, and it's, as you can see, it's absolutely beautiful. It's gorgeous. And so what's not to like about this? There's no other people here. We're all alone. It's just a wonderful way to spend the day. It's great with kids because if you can teach them not to touch things and then enjoy the sheer beauty of the sight alone, it really has some great rewards to it.
Besides the fact that it's a constant, 57, 58 degrees?
Oh yeah, it's in the summertime it's cool, in the wintertime it's so warm, and so it's always fun being in a cave. I mean, I'm in a short sleeve shirt. Here it is, 57 or 8 degrees, but you're constantly moving, so you don't feel that cold, and so it's a great exercise. It's just a wonderful place to spend some time, particularly in my opinion, with knowledgeable people and with family.
There are some 14 miles of mapped passageways in Beauty Cave. Starfish fossils can be found here, evidence that all of this was once part of a shallow sea some 360 to 400 million years ago.
So all these columns here formed from a crack in the ceiling. Water came in, calcium carbonate precipitates out, made these columns. You got to watch your step up here because there's lots of pools.
These columns are just awesome. I mean,
They are incredible. Watch your step here. There might be some salamanders.
And sure enough, we did come upon a salamander.
These guys start out in life with eyes, and as they mature, they lose their eyesight and their pigment, and they have to live in a cave. When they're juveniles, they'll have gills. I don't see gills on this one, and as they reach maturity, they lose their gills, and they have lungs in, I guess. They live out on the surface, lay eggs and feed in these pools.
There are a lot of sections like this that you want us to go through, huh, Chuck?
There are a lot. There are a lot of stretches like hands and knees crawls like this, but none with this signature groove or ridge down the middle.
Caving really is like going to another planet without leaving Earth.
As soon as you enter that portal, you leave one world behind and enter a different world, although they're connected. You can see things that, you may see things that no human has ever seen, which is very exciting. Or you may see where people have been living in a cave, 10,000 years ago or something, 8,000 years ago, which can be pretty exciting too. You may see an organism that's never been described by science, or sometimes it's just the beauty of the whole thing. It's just a very beautiful place to be. I personally like the darkness and the quietness of the place. It's no place else in the whole outside world that I know of that you can go and be in just absolute darkness, not see an airplane, fly over or a satellite go over in the night sky, it's just pure black and dark and sometimes nearly purely quiet. And I appreciate that.
It is like being on some alien world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, I can't remember the fellow's name, but somebody said this is, going caving is the one place left where a person of modest means can discover new worlds.
Ever wonder what the state's largest tree looks like and where it is? Well, it happens to be here in the White River National Wildlife Refuge in eastern Arkansas. And not only is Arkansas's largest tree, it happens to be one of the largest trees in about 40 of the 50 states. Jeff Denman here is going to do the honors of taking us to it. Our journey into the state's largest national wildlife refuge to see Arkansas's largest tree was first by motorboat for as long as we could maneuver in.
Well, we put in at the Smokehouse Hill Campground into Hurricane Bayou, and we motored down through Hurricane with the current. We turned up Old Essex Bayou, and we've run up through here. And we come to the bank right about in here. We're going to portage across, get in the canoes, and catch some of these sloughs that'll lead us over to Lower White Lake and follow the channel up to the Champion Cypress Tree.
And where's the buried treasure?
At these coordinates. X marks the spot.
Jeff wasn't kidding when he said we'd have to portage along some of the way.
Too shallow here.
Yeah, that's all we can do here.
There's some current over to the left. If we drag over there, it'll be deeper. Put in and
move on.
There's a gap up through there. Shallow spot to go across right there.
Going straight up through here?
Yeah, let's go this way.
This is the granddaddy champion, huh, Jeff?
That's the largest tree in Arkansas. Bald cypress.
Oh, it's impressive to say the least, tell you what. Man, look at the base of that thing.
You can't wrap your arms around it.
Normally, when the water recedes, you can hike up to the tree, but we happen to make this trip during the wettest time of the year.
We're in about 6 feet of water, and it's reported to be 120 foot tall from the ground. 13 feet, 8 inches in diameter. It's 516 inches in circumference at a point that's just under the water. And according to the Arkansas Forestry Commission's Bigness Index, the biggest tree in Arkansas.
You were telling me it was a surprise to you at first that this actually turned out to be the state's largest tree.
That's right. The Arkansas Forest Commission gave us a call and said they'd been down to measure this tree that had been nominated by a gentleman and his son had came across it while they were enjoying the refuge, I think in 2004. And the Forestry Commission came and measured it and verified it was a new state champion bald cypress tree for Arkansas. They told us about it, gave us the dimensions and the coordinates so we could locate it. Took me about 3 trips to find it. You think the biggest tree in the state would stand out where anyone could find it, but it's hidden amongst a lot of brush. It's in one of several meandering sloughs, and it just took a while to get to where you could see it during the growing season when the leaves are on.
Mm-hmm. It's quite impressive when you're over there at the base of it and looking up. I mean, it's just, words can't describe, but
I guess it could be said it's the largest native organism in Arkansas, since we don't have elephants and whales. So it's bigger than anything you and I have been up against in the state.
Yeah, definitely the largest living thing in the state.
It dwarfs a canoe, much less a person. It's some 13 feet and 8 inches in diameter. That's about the length of this canoe. And that's measured at 4.5 feet off the ground when it's not flooded like it is now. So that's below water right now. Where we're looking at is probably about 12 feet in diameter.
If you'd like to see the state's largest tree for yourself in the White River National Wildlife Refuge, it is best to go during the dry months of the year.
It is when you can walk down into this channel and walk amongst these cypress knees that are 7 and 8 feet tall. They're overwhelming, much less the 120-foot tall tree next to you.
I don't guess there's any way of knowing, or is there, about the approximate age of that tree?
It would take quite a bit of research and some comparison with the cores of other trees to match up weather patterns. If it's solid all the way through to get to the center of the tree. But it's probably at least 1,000 years old, and so we can just say upwards of 1,000.
Hard to imagine a tree like that just being here throughout the ages.
It really is. That's centuries and centuries to go, come and go, and we're just not used to things lasting that long. But this is one of those kind of trees that does.
It may not be quite exactly like rafting on the Colorado River, but on some of our rivers and streams in Arkansas, when you catch them just right when the water is up, the end result can be almost as exhilarating. We've teamed up with Carrie Moore of Moore Outdoors near Dover, north of Russellville, who's going to take us on a wild and woolly rafting excursion down the Big Piney. The Big Piney ranks among the best float streams in the state. It meanders through the heart of the Ozarks for 67 miles through some of the most rugged and remote terrain before flowing into Lake Dardanelle. Outfitter Carrie Moore talked to us about the challenge of the Big Piney.
Big Piney, it's different at all levels. This level, at 5.5 feet, is about where we cut off for renting to the public. But it's really, in a raft like this, it's safe. You know, it is safe today. It's Big Piney. They rate it class 2, 3. They rate rafters from 1 to 6. 1 is the easiest and 6 is the hardest. And Big Piney is class 2 and 3. And we've gone through some 2s, and I guess 1, 2, 3 surprise a Class 3, and we're fixing to get into the most challenging rapids, the Surfing Rapid and the one they call the Mother up here in just a minute.
And it's one rapid that can get the best of them.
He wiped out.
The Big Piney is not exactly for beginners.
No, it's not really. You know, like the Buffalo is, the lower end of the Buffalo is pretty, it's a ones. You know, Class 2s and 3s is for experienced people or people that have paddled before at least. You know, people ask me all the time, how come I don't do any more advertising than I do? And I just tell them that it's really Piney is not, like I said, it's not for everybody. It's for people that have paddled quite a bit and are looking for something a little bigger than what they have paddled.
Usually 3 to 3.5 feet of water is the average safe level.
Really, for a renter, for the public, about 3 or 3.5 feet is perfect. 4.5 feet starts getting pretty fast, and like I said, we turned it off at 5 feet. You know what I'm talking about? There's nobody that says that we can't rent them. You know what I'm talking about? But that's just, it's just for being safe for the general public. That's where I choose to turn it. That I quit renting my boats.
Okay, we just went through, what were these rapids now?
Now, this one, they just wave train. You know, there's really no name for this one. We call it kind of wave train. The next one is Surfing Rapid. This up here, this is one. It's a Class 3 rapid.
Tell us a little bit about the handling of a raft like this. I guess this is basically the kind that they actually do use on the Colorado River. A similar design?
Well, it's a similar design, but they use a lot bigger raft. Yeah. You know, this is 13.5 star raft. It's a self-bailer. You know, any water gets in it, it runs right back out. We don't have to bail it after every rapid. And it's an oar rig, and people see an oar rig and they think it's real hard to do. You know, it takes a lot of strength and stuff, but it doesn't. It's just enough to move the oars through the water.
And what is the technique that you, well, for a novice, you can explain the basic technique that you use to go through a rapid?
Well, with the way we were doing it, we call it rushing a rapid, is when you go forward and rushing a rapid, and that's usually the way you go through the rapid. Now, when you get into the pools, you turn around and back like they do a rowboat. You row it just like you do an old flat bottom rowboat. But in the raft, for when you run the rapids, you turn around and go forward, and you call it rushing a rapid.
You gotta love it here, don't you?
I thank the good Lord every day I live where I do, no doubt.
Especially some of the scenery that we've seen, like the waterfalls and everything here.
It's beautiful. There's people that drive from a long distance to get to Big Piney. You know, people in the state need to take advantage of it, no doubt about it.
If you'd like to set up your own rafting expedition on the Big Piney, get in touch with More Outdoors near Dover, or check out the state's largest tree and the White River National Wildlife Refuge at St. Charles. And if you're an experienced spelunker or a member of a grotto club and would like to explore some of those wild caves in the Buffalo River area, such as Beauty Cave, contact the Buffalo River office in Harrison to obtain a permit. And for more info on these and other destinations, or to order a copy of a program, visit our website, aetn.org/Exploring Arkansas. And we'll see you again the next time for another exciting adventure on Exploring Arkansas.